I want to go home. Sister, we probably aren't going back to our old house anymore. Try to think of this place as your new home. How can you even call this place home? It's too different from our real home, and there's no mum. Well, what if we said Carmen was our new mum then? No, this isn't the same at all. Let me go home, please. Enoch, why do you keep trying to participate in those weird experiments? You know we don't have to. Besides, Carmen told us that we didn't have to worry about anything here too. Of course, it'd be real fun to spend time with you here without a care in the world. Sometimes I imagine a future like that. It would be a very happy one. But how would we be able to find meaning in our lives there? There are children abandoned in the outskirts who are dying every day. We were only able to live on thanks to an unexpected turn of events. Settling for simple comfort in this place is not what I was born to do. And it shouldn't be either. Your words are too hard for me. Why do you have to make so many thoughts on your mind? They say too much thinking might make you a weird person. You know, Lisa, I think I've always been sad. I never loved my own life for even a second. How nice would it be to live in a happy world next time? Enoch, are you hurt? No, it doesn't hurt one bit. Please don't be sad. I know something good will happen next time. It seems you're awake. You are in Lobotomy Corporation, and I am the one who woke you. The both of you are Tifereth. You'll be working as my assistants, helping me with amazing work from here on out. Why do we have the same name? Because there is no point in distinguishing between you two. Hi, nice to meet you, Tifereth. I keep making silly mistakes, Tifereth. Don't worry, I'll help you. I'm sure you'll be fine on your own pretty soon. We made it so far. The other Sephiroth wouldn't have dreamed of working this fast. We might even be better partners than we thought. Yeah, I think so too. I wonder, why do we exist here? Why do you worry about that? We're part of the Central Command Department, and we're sitting on a mountain of work to do. We just need to focus on the task at hand. We're radically different from normal machines. I think about you, and you think about me. We both ponder things, feel pain, and recognize our own existence. There must be some reason for it. Be careful, Tifereth. If Miss Angela finds out you're wondering about things like that, she won't be happy about it. Lady Angela, what will happen to Tifereth? Apart from the fact that his condition is abnormal, his excessive questioning will affect the manager's duties as well. Since this behavior is unacceptable under any circumstances, I'll have to reset him to the default status now. Don't worry, you'll be alright. You're simply going back to your first day at the company. But Lady Angela, Tifereth has spent so much time with me. You're really starting to act like a child now, Tifereth. Why don't you say your goodbyes then? Though you two will meet again soon anyway. Tifereth, I'm sorry, Tifereth. Why are you crying, Tifereth? I'm sorry, I couldn't do anything for you. Please don't be sad. I know something good will happen next time. Yeah. You're here. Sometimes I spend my time here. It makes me think about a lot of things. Tifereth always looked at the world one step ahead of me. He was seeing his own world that I will never come to know. We were always next to each other, but in reality we were never truly together. Do you know why that feeling of missing someone even though they're standing right beside you? I don't care at all about the meaning or purpose of existence that Tifereth talked about. I just wanted the two of us to happily stay here together. That was all. But this place won't allow us to have even that small luxury. There are countless of Tifereth's dead bodies piled up here, can't you see? I'm standing here stepping on their remains. trampling all over the memories, reminiscences, and time that I spent with Tiferet. I'm standing on top of it right now, but I still don't get it. I can't reach the world Tiferet saw. I sing the song of our hometown and mourn for Tiferet, even though this will never reach him. Care to join me? Tiferet, what are you doing here? Just reminiscing on old memories. What memories? The good old days when we were together. You're right, we had lots of fun together. Come back to me soon, Tiferet. I'll be reading the rest of the report. I will. You can replace the machine and transfer the key memories all you want. That still won't bring back the Tiferet I knew. Does that really matter though? Tiferet will continue to smile at you. He'll spend time with you just like before. Kindly refrain from bringing up some such wasteful matters, Tiferet. It's completely meaningless here. I don't really like you. The new manager would always have some kind of influence on Tiferet, and that would eventually lead to yet another breakdown. It will be the same time and time again. We'll discard Tiferet again and again, and he'll stray further and further from what he used to be. What I'm scared of most is seeing Tiferet burned to a husk, worn down from all those overloads and resets. For now he can at least look normal and talk with me, pretending to feel nostalgia for the memories that were forcefully added back. But he's been getting more and more unstable. As a matter of fact, we're basically pumping electricity into a machine that's teetering to keep running. You can make as many copies as you want of his body, but he only has one soul. His one and only soul, and look what we've done to it. Let me ask you a favour. You've been good at doing favours for me so far, you should be able to manage this one. Could you get rid of Tiferet permanently? Angela would say that there's a reason for the two of us working here together. She'd say that we are two yet one. But I can handle the Central Command Department all by myself. I proved myself a long time ago. Please, let Tiferet rest in peace. As if I were alone from the beginning, before it gets any worse. I can't respond. Why aren't you saying anything? In fact, Lady Angela doesn't care about us at all. Whether there's one Tiferet or two, whether one just became a moving piece of useless scrap for whatever reason, or if one were overloaded and dumped on top of countless other discarded Tiferet, left to melt in the storage, she wouldn't care. You're different. You're supposed to be different. There were many abandoned children in the outskirts. These children were one of the many end results of the countless conflicts among the wings within the city. Aside from disease and hunger, the most frightening enemy for the children were the ones referred to as the Sweepers. The Sweepers usually preyed upon the children, but sometimes they would accompany them. Both were worst-case scenarios for the children. One fixer of ours was exploring the outskirts and came across those children. We could easily guess why she bothered to report her findings to us. We also figured she had spent quite a bit of time agonizing over whether to report it or not. Carmen personally asked her to bring the children here. To take two children into the city from the outskirts required an extremely complicated procedure, but no one complained. The two children didn't look like siblings, but they depended on each other even more so than siblings by blood do. The girl was easily frightened and wouldn't open up very much to us. However, the boy started to show interest in our experiment. I saw it in his eyes. He had already seen and experienced so much of this world's despair and misfortune. His eyes no longer looked like a child. Please, allow me to participate in this experiment, he said. Carmen spent many nights thinking about his earnest request. Then finally, we approved his participation. Where did we want to go while holding a child's hand? You should have been the one to die. Yeah, I should have died. Lisa's vicious mumblings likely had no weight to it, but I knew one thing. I knew Carmen's answer was sincere. Ever since that day, her wound quietly deepened. Greetings and salutations, everyone. Mechamac, this is Limbus Company. So yeah, I reset after the previous video in hopes of getting a nicer abnormality. I got greedy. I had the option for crumbling armor, but I figured that its gear was outclassed, so I used the re-extraction ability that I got from Bina. I really shouldn't have, because the abnormality it gave me is going to be extremely problematic. Whenever you retry, it disables the core suppression, so you might be thinking, Mechamac, why didn't you show your first attempt? It's because I got interrupted and I was right at the very start, so I figured I might as well reset. I have a specific idea in mind for today to deal with this problem, but it'll be easier to talk about once we get into the day. So the first problem is simply from the fact that Tifereth's department takes up so much space. You could lose up to 10 agents that could need to be repositioned from having to deal with this problem. And, yeah. It's also in a very important position in the facility, especially since it's very likely to have aleph, since the aleph rate is very high during this part of the day, during the days where you're expanding this department. So, an important thing to keep in mind about suppressions. When you gain access to a core suppression, then that Sephiroth will no longer chime in during the day. So usually they tell you whenever an agent dies or panics, or if an abnormality escapes or acts strangely. Usually, but they won't do it while core suppression is available. However, when you start core suppression, every Sephiroth is disabled, which means that we can no longer get warnings from them. It's not ideal, because this is an abnormality I would actually want that warning system for. This is the parasite tree. It pretends to be the world tree, but it's really the parasite tree. When its Clifoth counter hits 0, it will call an employee to inside it to bless them. It prioritizes people from its own department, so I'm going to move the Soul Records team employee over there. If it gets any of the clerks in there, then I can execute them. And I'm also going to send Summer down here, because Summer is going to be our way of maintaining the tree, farming for its equipment, and then before we reach day 41, I'll banish it with the memory repository. However, there's another wrinkle. You might have noticed that what it said was a massive meltdowns is going to happen. That is the gimmick of this round. Tifereth is going to trigger meltdowns in departments that we added an immunity to. It's also possible for her to trigger meltdowns in the Central Command Team 2 departments, so you cannot ignore this area. I don't know whether she can target the upper level ones. It might be because this is considered to be a separate team, so it doesn't count the immunity, or it might just be that she targets everywhere and people have gotten lucky. I would like to point out, though, that there's a very strange thing about Big Bird. Big Bird cannot be targeted by meltdowns due to a programming bug. It's weird. Now, the other thing is that this is set to be a meltdown level 10, so we have to play for a very long time. And if we get to the end and we get a midnight that we can't handle, then it's basically over. Why don't I have anyone? Okay, so basically Since the meltdowns can happen anywhere and we've lost the Tiferet department bonus, I want to position everyone so that we can quickly start up and get stuck into all of these problems. Oh yeah, and I think... Okay, you have Beak, so it got rid of that penalty. It's a shame that I'm going to have to reset the game because that means you'll go back to having Pleasure, and I don't like that one. And since we're resetting anyway, I sadly can't do much grinding with the trainees. Oh, and I also forgot to equip Da Capo. I hope that doesn't come back to bite me. Wait, where's Summer? It's a very long corridor. The other problem is that as the day goes, when people work with things that aren't the world tree or parasite tree, whichever you want to call it, then it starts to get touchy. Eventually triggering its own counter to drop, and then it summons someone. It's exceptionally annoying. And I don't like dealing with it, which is why it's going to be banished when we're done. Do we have any heavy black weapons though? Actually, you should go down here and you should go over here. If Melting Love starts melting down, we're going to have to use repression work to keep her contained. But just in case, every level I need to use execution bullets because by the time we get to midnight, we don't want to have to deal with a midnight and Big Bird breaching. Which is why I need to go around and delete a whole bunch of clerks. Trying to focus on getting all my... Oh yeah, so this shows that it's very close to getting upset. Working with it keeps it under control. It likes to target its own departments, clerks, and agents for meltdowns, so by removing all the clerks and just having Rhino up here, there'll be plenty of time for me to notice and get him out of there, because to break the hypnosis you just rapidly click on him. That's all.
However, meltdowns are happening. So there's another... There are a lot of guidelines here. We'll go through them one by one once we deal with all the other works needed in the facility. I don't want to go through the hassle. I also don't want to go through the hassle of having to try and manage a funeral of dead butterflies and scarecrow, so I'm just going to have Gonzalez here. She won't be able to properly... I think she can easily keep these guys under control. Okay, no, what I'm saying is, I'll use her for performing works on them to preserve our energy. They will breach, but I can simply, she has Twilight, she's more than capable of taking them down. Well, maybe it's a he, you can't... Clerks don't really have gender. Actually, I mean, agents don't have gender at the moment. Okay, we're out of bullets. I have to remember to put this back. I have to remember to put it back. Unfortunately, while we do have this to tell us about works performed, we don't. It doesn't apply to people using the tool abnormalities. So you have to be careful when working with stuff like the Mad Researcher's notes. I need to finish off this one. Cancel. Okay. We have that corner done. You're really gonna be temperamental the whole day, aren't you? Green Dawn. Okay, those ones are easily dealt with. That'll be simple for you. Okay, short and simple, just how we like it. I would really like it if I could get the censored gift for my safety team captain to give an absolutely ridiculous amount of SP. Okay, it's calling someone. And then it resets, so we're good there, but we also have to work on it. And now we get a shift in the music. Rhino can take the Heart of Aspiration. You go do that. The old lady is upset, but I'd rather clear out that meltdown. Big Bird isn't upset. Okay, now here's the problem. If we do repression work with Melting Love, then she won't give out her blessing. But it will drop her Clive-Off counter simply because we can't win in success rate here. Which means that eventually she is going to get out, so anti-clerk rules now. I think I want to leave the extraction team alone though. Because I would like to get my hands on the World Tree's equipment as soon as possible. Okay, we've cleared out... It leaves us with the success rate. We can wait for another meltdown. I want everyone to jump into works at the same time. Just so that... Oh, I didn't realize that you were feeling temperamental. But yeah, as I was saying, I want everyone to jump into works at the same time so that when Parasite Tree does trigger, it's not going to be too interfering. I use that word loosely. Okay, are there any other problems in the facility? No, just the tree. Ooh, you got quite the distance, didn't you? So then, Parasite Tree rules. A bud sprouted on the upper part of the tree when the employee finished with it. They were blessed and enjoyed increased work speed and SP. When repression work is performed, it lowers. When another abnormality escapes, the Clive-Off counter lowers with a low probability. This includes Punishing Bird, so Punishing Bird and Parasite Tree in the same facility can cause problems, because it does not exclude the Punishing Bird. Red Riding Hood Mercenary has a similar thing going on where she gets angry if other abnormalities breach, but she doesn't care about the Punishing Bird because she knows how difficult it is to keep that thing contained. Yeah, there's a pretty significant chunk of missing here. It is kind of tempting for me to have Angelina actually do the correct work type so I can grind up a few extra boxes for another copy of the armor should I need it. The problem is that I don't want that complication on a day like today. All it would take is one person walking into her room at the wrong time and it's all over. Okay, you're in a good position to take out Harmony of the Skin, and you could probably solo that, so... I say that, but... Okay. When 5 works with other abnormalities completed, while Parasite Tree is not being worked, the Clive-Off counter lowers. So keep in mind that while it's worked is not applying here. It's quite possible for such as Punishing Bird escaping to force someone out to... You can be working on it. Punishing Bird escapes, and then the tree will simply just snatch someone up and cancel the current work, so it is a problem on core suppression days. When the Clive-Off counter hits 0, it summons employees to its containment unit to bless them. When 5 buds sprout, it turns dark and blessed employees panicked. After some time passed, they turn into a tree. It secretes a contagious and highly fatal toxin. They need to be removed to decontaminate the area. So we have the ego suits and some crossbows. I don't like the suit because black weakness is dangerous in the late game, but the crossbows will help. More ranged weapons are always nice. How close are you to killing that thing? It could be better, could be worse. Actually, no, we want to kill this before we start working heavily, so... Yumi, you're gonna be long. Okay, where'd they go? One there and one here. And one over here. Okay, Cooper, here. You there. You here. You there. Inside here, attachment there. Wow, we just pushed an entire meltdown level in one go thanks to that. Oops. who would be safe for behavior adjustment? I guess you'd be okay. And then, I don't like how big this corridor is because it means that it takes a while for Summer to... It means that Summer can drift a very... The two rooms are so big that it's hard to position someone close to it. Someone got... I guess because, our friend Rhino was currently in work, it grabbed someone else. Damn it, this thing really is annoying. Okay, this time it does have Rhino, so we can undo that. Okay, Judgy Bird. I think that covers everything. Oh wait, yeah. This is the danger. You aren't watching, they breach, problems happen. Still need a bit more for that crossbow though. Now it's time for all in. Okay, Crimson Dusk. As long as we do have the ability to pause this time, unlike we had the time I showed it before, so I should be able to show Crimson Dusk safely. Sigh. The thing is, I kind of want to keep Summer free, so I think we're going to have to just keep upsetting it. Oh, you picked the absolutely wrong corridor to spawn in, buddy. Both of them have exceptionally strong red resistance. Would be nice if we had pale weapons to use against it, but it's not the end of the world. Where's the other one? Oh boy. You! The moose. If that thing rolls... I'll assume that these guys have it all on their own, so I don't need to watch them there. These guys, on the other hand, will probably need the help because they aren't quite stat maxed yet. So yeah, because he's in a room with people that he didn't kill by rolling over them, he has to stop and turn around. No, not the extraction team, clerks! Oh, the parasite tree is also trying to pull someone. Turn back. Touchy little thing, isn't it? So you're partway through this one. Okay, we have clowns on the loose. We have many clowns on the loose. Please don't... Please put all the clowns back. Actually, cancel that worker order. Focus on killing that clown. Are there? Yes, there's one here. He's trying to let out Big Bird. We won't let him. Over here. The static might be in jeopardy, so we'll fix that. Okay, I think it's time to delete the information team clerks. It's nice to have their success rate, especially when we're working with a new VOV. But I would rather not let Big Bird out. And all of a sudden, there's no more works left. No. "13 meltdowns. We're gonna be a bit overworked now. I'll give Igori just a tiny bit of SP to make up. I'm going to ignore the portrait because I don't want to deal with that on top of everything else we might be working with today. And the bird is out. Amber Midnight. Okay, there's something to keep in mind. Honestly, I was half expecting the Violet Midnight just to ruin my time, but oh well. It's time to finish off all the clerks. Or at least it will be when we finish here and... Okay, that gives us all the boxes we need. You go here. You go there. Darn it, this is Meltdown 8, so even after that we'll still have to deal with a level 9 Meltdown. Stop that! You're feeling quite temperamental, aren't you? You probably won't need to worry about the slugs because we've seen you beat them before. I just have to keep my eye out. Okay, the only remaining clerks are in welfare, so we can finally get around to losing our extra bullet count. Wait, not Rhino, because Rhino is who we use to get him... Need to figure out who I want to use to push to the next level, so that if a slug does tunnel up underneath them, then it won't be the end. What a jerk. I think he... Okay, he doesn't have that much overbrush, so we should be fine there. I think the one that I'll do is I'll have the safety team captain feed the punishing bird. That way the bird won't break loose. No one in corridors, no one in the elevators. No one in the main rooms, I mean. You would spawn right there, wouldn't you? Endures everything except red, which is normal damage. You guys back off. Except that bite actually means that Gonzalez hits a little bit harder. Okay, where's the dig next? We have someone over... So as I was saying, we have someone in the safety team, and now someone in Central. It'll spawn a few new more wolf slugs, but we can at least get a little bit of scratch damage here. Where next? Disciplinary team, which isn't the best location since there's a bit of a tunnel there. I don't want to get people caught halfway. And welfare, which has the exact same problem. Great. I at least want to get this parasite tree worked on. Dangerous game, but as you can see, Gonzalez can basically one-shot those guys. Why are they all picking here? Okay, we can do something about the extraction team. I guess you just arrived there, so everyone go. Red shield, run for the elevator. The fun thing about the Twilight Sword is that the damage goes up the less health you have. Back off. I don't think that the Vov slugs will spawn in these narrow corridors, so we should be safe, and if we aren't, we can just stay in these rooms where they definitely can't show up. And there's a safety team. Now you left. Back in Central where we can't get them. But this one we can. You really are going to just keep jumping between Central and such, aren't you? And the information team where we can't get you. Great. Well, since we have the option... Deleted. The problem is that they can always just go to places where your kill teams aren't. Hey, Gonzalez does have a few scratches, so dealing more damage. Although it's gone now because the recovery systems... And now we vamoose. Training team, we can do something about that. South Central Command. We're getting close. We have a food chain here, so that's oh, never mind. If I'd spotted you sooner, then I'd have done something about it. Information again, darn it. We can cull out the little ones later. Okay, are you moving somewhere I can hit you easier? I guess technically. No! I keep only looking when they're about to leave, so Gonzalez isn't getting a chance to cull. Okay. Not quite, but the next time you move somewhere I can hit you, you're going down. Speaking of which... Okay, we have to be cautious here because Gonzalez might take a bite or two. It'll take a lot more than a bite or two to finish off that armor though. I don't like dealing with these ones. Amber Midnight isn't difficult, but it's very time consuming. And now we have to put everyone back in place because we're going to be hit by a frick ton of meltdowns. Actually, where's Gonzalez gone? I think what I actually want to do is trigger a breach now so that it doesn't happen. And so it struck me that it's possible that a meltdown could happen, forcing Melting Love to breach. I would rather be in position. I would rather delete her, suppress her, and then let the timer tick over, I think. Oh. Never mind. So, Central Command Team, suppress the core of Tifereth. Record Team, the virtue of protection cleared. We have promotions. It is a fact that we have them. I don't know whether I want a memory repository again so I can get rid of Parasite Tree as quickly as possible or what, but yeah. Tifereth's core isn't... It's just time consuming. So, let's see. Out of things that I wouldn't like to take into the endgame, none of these count. So I think I'll take this under the expectation that I will be resetting to get rid of it. So, yeah. Enoch? Have you ever heard of the Nest? I hear they throw a festival every single day there. I want to dance, Enoch. I want to stomp my feet and let happiness take over my body. Lisa, if you take a bit of time to look around here, it's quite nice too. But we aren't allowed to go anywhere. Carmen just wants to keep us confined here. She's a good person. I hope you'll open up to her soon. I don't want to get to know anyone else. All I want is to be with you. I can't promise to be next to you forever. There's a lot of things that I've been mulling over for quite some time, and I thought I might find some answers for them here. Some of my thoughts may be so absurd that the answers to them might not exist at all. Or even if the answers do exist, they might vanish too soon. But in the process of searching for those answers, I will be able to cast off my shell. Then I can fly away at last, leaving my body behind. Sometimes I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know where you want to go, but promise that you'll take me with you, Enoch. Oh, A's here. I guess we gotta go now. It's gonna get dark and cold soon. Let's head inside. Yeah, soon. Soon cold days will come. Even though I never thought of them as family or someone I needed to care for, I made it my job to bring the children back home to ease Carmen's busy schedule. I see them. Those young kids running towards me. Those children who survived the outskirts. The 2 we saved. I thought I could do it all on my own. I wanted to show Tiferet how mature I became when he got back one day. But there was no end to the disappointment, and Tiferet never got any better. I couldn't stand the silence without an answer. So I thought that I'd rather hide my disgust and guilt I was so used to, as if the feelings never existed in the first place. But whenever I see Tifereth's empty smile, my heart feels as if it were being covered in dark ash, or shattered into a million pieces. I knew Tifereth could never go back to how he used to be. I was aware that we could never return to the happy days we spent together. But I was about to abandon Tifereth just because it was too hard for me to endure. All while knowing that he was the one who suffered the most. Tifereth, are you done with all of your busy work? We're going to be late. Let's get going. The sun will set soon. Please hurry, Lisa. Right, my name was Lisa once. Tifereth doesn't remember his name anymore, but from time to time he calls me my cast-off name. What did Tifereth want out of all of this, even after sacrificing himself? What was he waiting for even when he was being discarded? Was it all worth it to him? I don't know. I've never ever held any expectations in my life. But I'll try counting on you now. I want to believe that there's a reason for every sacrifice that was made, and to know that eventually, everything will be okay. The expectation for the meaning of existence. I had wanted to free myself from the pain, but I realized it was impossible. It was only recently that I found my answer. It is that I have to accept the pain as something I've borne from the beginning. Then I can be set free. Manager, if you are suffering too, just take in the pain and accept it. You don't have to keep changing things if it's too hard for you. I know you want to keep pressing on in any way possible. You felt lost and scared of the present, so all you could do was blindly trace along the way through the dark. I admired such determination at first, but now you look so pathetic. How long do you think you can keep this up? Will you ever make it to the end? Thankfully, you've been collecting energy ever since your first day here, never missing a single day. My role is to encourage you to collect the proper amount of energy each day, sometimes by nagging, sometimes by encouraging you with praise. It must have been hard to adapt to the corporation, but you tried your best to extract the energy, along with bearing the numerous sacrifices along the way. It was also my role to butter you up with plain words to help you avoid sinking into the pit of guilt. This part was particularly irritating because being your nanny wasn't in my programming, but we were still able to fulfill our roles anyhow. You might have noticed this earlier if you ever took a moment to look deeper into this company. But the pipelines used to transmit energy to the outside haven't worked for a long time. Right now they are very rusty. This means the energy collected from our branch is excluded from the total energy collected by Lobotomy Corporation. Isn't it fascinating? Don't be too upset. I'm not saying that all the energy you collected was for nothing. Well, now there is one more thing for you to find out. Where does all that energy go? Alright, time to broaden the extraction department. Tifereth synchronization completed. The base number of managerial bullets increases by 30%, and the Pale Shield is unlocked. The department in which the suppression took place no longer is influenced by life-off meltdowns. And because we finished off your suppression, we can increase any stat we want past the limit. So, I think out of everything, temperance is the thing that I'd be concerned about. Let's go with fortitude. I think panicking is probably going to be the biggest... Panicking we can fix, death we cannot. But with that said, what did we just pick up? We just picked up the eyeball. Next time, we're going to move on to a new suppression. Until then guys, take care, I'll see you all around.